Okay, everybody. So you guys had just sort of walked through the precipice of the doorway in Folia's dreamscape. Each of you in your own dream forms. And as you walk through that threshold, you sort of find yourself, it's a familiar feeling. You felt it before, most of you, as you had been pulled into Albus's dream the night before. That same sort of pull happens yet again. And in a strange sense of deja vu, you find yourself once again standing in a place that you can only imagine or you recognize as Casimir. It's a sort of a village that you surrounded by bamboo, grass. You can see the sort of looming shapes of mountains kind of up there. There's this is, I guess, it's kind of got a sort of a Chinese aesthetic to it. There's no China in this world, but imagine something similar to that. There's, a lot of clay, tiled roofs. It is a city that looks quaint yet orderly in its own fashion. Established, well built, and maintained. Only here, as you sort of look out, it is dark in a way. It's sort of looming in a way that almost is so there's very big guitar solos going on right now. So it is a place unlike the dream that you had seen before that was sort of burning in chaos, destruction. The sort of atmosphere in front of you now is one that is dark. It's looming. It's foreboding. It's almost as though the shadows seem to have deepened and sort of stick to everything. They almost move in a way. There's places where out of the corner of your eye, you almost swear you see something move, something scuttling or chittering or just moving in places. But every time you look, there's nothing there. And looking around your surroundings, you see that you are in a sort of town square of some kind. There's sort of cobblestone in every direction. There's a number of small houses, buildings, and you're in the center of it is a fountain that Albus you would recognize as the fountain in the middle of Casimir, the town square. You've been here many times before. You grew up in this place. What's different, obviously, outside of the atmosphere of where you find yourself, is that the fountain itself does not reflect the sky above you, which is almost starless in the sort of darkness that seems to almost overtake it. Instead, what you see within the fountain is a sort of starry atmosphere, very similar, identical, to the one that you remember seeing within the pool in the center of Folia's own dreamscape. As all of you find yourself standing around, you see that you look like you did in Folia's dream. You all have your own sort of alternate appearances to you. I don't need to go through them all, but like Sharp, you look like a human, and Steve, you look a little kind of out of style, things like that.
Style.
Weathered hand.
Yeah,
Steve would never.
yeah, that's not what I mean. You're
Old-fashioned.
a little old-fashioned.
Old.
Yeah.
Just old.
Just as
Oh.
old. But as all of you are there, and you guys can all see Folia there, she sort of stumbles for a brief second, and you guys all kind of find yourself almost unsettled. There's almost this sort of wave of like pressure. It's a strange tickling of sorts in this part of your mind. You've been in the dreamscape where Albus was. You have felt that feeling of being watched. This is not that. This is a feeling of unease. It's that part of your brain that goes off when you feel like there's something moving in like the room that you're in, but you're not sure where it is, or You saw something in the corner of your eye, and you're not quite sure what it was. Where did it go? Is it still there? It's an unease that slowly kind of starts to rise in your mind, and it's off-putting in a way. And even Folia seems to sort of sense it and try to almost physically steady herself in the place. And she immediately goes about with her staff, sort of drawing out and highlighting these sort of magical runes on the cobblestone around the fountain itself. And once she's done, you can see sort of this layer of sort of protective symbols and sigils and kind of runes that kind of have formed around it. And she goes, "Okay, I must admit, it's worse here than I had thought. I'm sure you all can sense it. There's a feeling of immense dread and terror here. A fear unlike anything I've experienced before, and I've dealt with a far number of very foul entities. I fear I may not be able to join you. If I leave this place, we may lose our hold in this realm, or lose our way. But I will secure it from this side, and with Wolf and Pickle on the other, we should be safe. That said, you may need to be the ones to venture in and find these individuals." And she then starts fishing around in one of the bags on her thing, and she goes, "But don't worry, I've prepared for this." And she lays out a number of objects in front of her. She lays out a dagger, kind of in its scabbard, a silken orange scarf, a sort of wood-carved totem, small one, not too long, of some kind, what looks like a handkerchief stained in blood, a brass key, and what looks to be like a monocle with the kind of a little chain attached to it, one that you might say keep on your person and use to inspect things. She lays them out, and she says, "I've pulled all of these items in the real world from the individuals that have been affected by this. They can act as anchors to bring you to where they are within this dreamscape. I must warn you, as with all dreamscapes, the world that you see around you isn't physical. It's a metaphysical. It's very possible that even if you were to walk down one path, you may walk forever. You can get lost very easily. With me here, and all of you connected to me, I can ensure that you will always have a path backwards. Using these anchors, you should be able to find those that they belong to, and not get lost along the way."
Can I ask a question?
You may.
Can I immediately tell that this is the instinct of terror? Based on the feeling that I'm getting?
You can. Yes, you can. You, that is maybe the one thing in this place that you are familiar with, that you recognize. You've never been to this place, although you've seen sort of a facsimile of it in Albus's dream. But that sort of, that shadow, that feeling, everything, it very much matches what you know, scuttles about and roams the dark places of, the forests, the flesh forests and all that.
Yeah, so just laying all these things out, I think Kestrel is probably going to ask her, like, you're not leaving us out of fear, right?
And she says, "Of this place? No. I am not afraid of whatever this creature is, or entity."
Terror.
Terror. I am not afraid of terror. But I do fear losing all of you in this place. To the dream itself, I am not sure what it will do. And it is far... And she kind of looks about, and she goes, "I fear it has a strange cunning about it. A desire to not be found or seen. I suspect it would lose itself and you if it could. Anything to avoid any kind of confrontation. True terror can be a terrible thing affects yourself and others, I fear losing you, but not it.
All right. Will you give us something of yours then? Because these are from the people from Chasm, or are you going to give us something from you so we could come back to you?
And she goes, well, you've already imbibed some of myself, but if it would make you feel better. She sort of reaches under her shoulders and she plucks leaves from the kind of mantle that kind of grows out of her shoulders a bit. And she plucks leaves from them and she hands each one of you one of the leaves. And she goes, if you focus on it, you should find yourself drawn to me. These anchors will work the same way. And she kind of looks, and it's almost like she's looking at something in the distant, like it just off on a horizon that doesn't exist. And she goes, I get the feeling that our intrusion here has been detected. I think it knows we're here. And I suspect, as with most things, it fears us. We may not have much time to reach these people. So I wouldn't dally.
I agree. Fear will try to run, always does. Okay.
It was the plan that we all take an object and find our missing citizens here.
I don't think that we should go alone.
But if we're against the clock, is there something else that we do?
But how will you know what to do if we are all separated?
Yeah, I don't know if splitting up is...
Maybe we should go to the first one alone. See if we can fix them. Maybe it will give us all an idea how to handle the rest. Maybe we split off after that, but I do not think we should split sooner.
Okay.
And Folia nods. She has no problem with this plan. After all, you guys are kind of calling the shots at this point. If that's the case, what do you guys do? Which one do you pick up?
Well,
Who's going? What? How are we splitting the party if we are at all?
Well,
So
it sounds like we want to split up the party, but I don't know.
How many objects do we have?
Yeah,
there are 6 objects.
Hmm.
There is a dagger, which some of you can make a check to determine what this is if you want. If you guys want to know what kind of dagger it is. In fact, why don't you guys all make me insight checks and maybe pick an item? There's a dagger, a scarf, a wooden totem, a handkerchief, a brass key, and like a monocle.
I'm drawn between the wooden totem and the brass key.
the only thing that I would have any knowledge on would be the totem.
Okay.
The totem, I will say, does appear to have wolf heads on it.
Okay.
Oh.
Well then,
There
the
you
brass
go.
key. So insights, you said?
Well, you're part wolf, so maybe you should look at
That's
it.
true.
do you have any
All right.
reason to think
Then
I
that
will.
we-
Go for it. Which question? No, which question?
I was gonna say, do we have any reason to think that we can do any of this without Kestrel? Like, what are we doing?
we're finding them and then
You're-
we're bringing them back to Folia.
Okay, so are you asking like what should we expect? Is that what you would say? Is that sort of what you're asking?
Yeah, and I'd probably say it is Steve if it hasn't like exactly been addressed, but like if we are gonna split up and there's a group without Kestrel, is that fine? I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be fine, but like that would be my concern.
I think if you just like asking a general question, I would say like my leadership in this is just like I have experience in the spirit lands and I would know more things about like how to handle the instinct of terror and how to approach it. in theory, you could go off on your own, but like the question is, would you know what to do when you got there? And that's part of the reason why Kestrel is insisting that we stick together for the first one, so that we can all know what to do. You know, if it's something that you guys can do and I can show you how to do it or whatever, you know, that's sort of where I'm coming from.
And I get like game mechanic, we probably do need to split up, but I think realistically, going and doing one together makes so much sense to make sure that we don't get lost in the void forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you ask Folia, if you're asking this question openly, her contribution to the answer would just be, well, I'm not sure exactly what you'll find, but my suspicion is that each of these individuals is trapped in some sort of nightmare, terror induced by this instinct that they cannot escape from. Freeing them from it, that would be your goal, but without knowing the individual or what it is that they fear, I can't tell you exactly how to help them individually. You'll simply have to see what it is that plagues them and do your best to help them.
Kestrel will sort of second this. She'll be like, terror, it is an instinct, but it is directed. It is when you see, for example, the other tiger folk afflicted with curiosity, they are sometimes very vicious and very focused on hurting people because of their god of martial prowess, but the instinct, the desire to see what they could do is directed. We ideally would be trying to solve whatever it is that they are afraid of, to try to alleviate their spirit of this terror, is what I am thinking.
And yeah, and Folia backs that. Fear is a personal thing to each of us. Hopefully, you can help these individuals. Bring your own experiences to the table if you can. Speak to them as you would wish to be spoken to if you were facing such a terrible thing. That's all I can say without knowing any more.
What am I checking with, by the way, for this totem?
Just do insight. If you guys want to sort of, and honestly, just everyone give me an insight, and let me just see where everyone's at, and I'll kind of do some stuff on my own.
Aw, Sean.
Sean
only rolled 1.
Yeah, Sean, you rolled 8.
No, he had a great roll.
I
have a critical success.
6 and 9. 6 and 3. 9.
Wow, critical.
So Chris and I crit.
I got a 9, which is really pretty good for me.
Okay.
For insight.
Steve, I hate to break it to you, buddy. You're too new to this world. You don't really understand shit about what you're looking at here. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're like, yeah, that scarf looks pretty cool.
This woman must have been cold.
So yeah, must have been.
But fashionable.
Oh man, only a 5 from Albus here. Oof.
Yeah, so what I imagine right now is, since we're back in Casimir and it's looking very similar to how I left it, I'm not doing too well. I'm pretty kind of spooked.
So you're gonna take that roll and roll with it.
Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna roll with it. Elvis is kind of a little freaked out.
Okay.
Maisie's having a little trouble with her.
Crying. I don't know how to do this on my phone.
Oh no!
Maybe if you go to rolls and just, and I don't know if you're trying this, and just go to the insight, like.
I can't even open my fucking page.
She's trying to do it just on the chat. So.
Oh, and you probably don't have dice. Error.
If someone wants to roll me 2 d10s.
I was gonna say, why don't we can have a designated roller.
Peter's on the case.
Sorry. I'm trying again. It was working, so I don't know.
You just have to do /R
instead of
r/.
Yeah.
But
/R
2d10,
space.
not
yeah,
d10.
space 2d10. /R space 2d10.
/R space
Space
2d10.
2d10.
Yep.
Oh,
Don't worry, guys. This is going to be worth it. You ready?
Okay.
it's probably like a
11.
Yeah.
And then a 2 and a 9.
Okay, we got two
So good.
critical boys
Thank you.
here.
Mhm.
I'll let you guys pick one of the objects, and I'll give you about as much information as I feel that you would be able to glean from it. So let's just go Throslin first. Is there one of these objects in particular that you'd like to know about?
Yeah, the
I'll
monocle.
tell you what I can. Monocle. This is something that you probably would have seen a couple of times in your life. I don't know that you would have ever used one, but you used to frequent a number of like antiquity shops and other places where people sell salvage or flip things and stuff like that. This is a monocle that would be used for inspecting typically like diamonds, ores, metals, anything of the sort where you're just trying to glean like what's the actual quality of it at a very fine level. And judging from the actual make, the sort of metal casing and everything else, you suspect this is a kobold's monocle from the size and just the overall the design philosophy of it. Kobold tech tends to, or they build their things a certain way, and you kind of recognize that. You've seen kobolds in your time and whatnot. So if you had to guess, this is the monocle of a kobold who inspected goods, maybe gemstones or metals or something that he would need to get a really good close look at to see like the quality of it.
Wouldn't be a bad one for Maisie, I suppose, or you, right?
Yeah.
So,
and Gunolf, which one would you like to know? You rolled the other crit. Which one would you
the-
like to know?
no, we'll go with the totem because you said they have wolves on them. So,
Your, I'll say limited, although by limited I mean much better than the average person. Knowledge of the cultures of the wolf folk up in the north would indicate this totem belongs to one of the people from that region, specifically one of the wolves that build the towns, the civilizations, the ones that are sort of pack like makers instead of hunters. They're builders, and that is sort of noticeable because each of the wolves on top of each other sort of symbolizes the fact it's a number of wolf heads on top of one another, and that symbolizes that like together the pack, the group is strong. They all make each other stronger and they can build on top of one another. If you had to guess just by how long you've been through markets and everything like that, this is a personally carved one, probably from someone in that region, not a replica or anything of the sort. The quality is good enough. So
Did me and Maisie get anything?
yes. You and both of you. Which one would you guys like to know about? And I'll give you a rough gist.
Maisie, you go first.
Sure, Maisie, go first. Which one?
I don't even remember what there were.
What's left is there's
Sorry.
a brass key, there is a bloodstained handkerchief, there is a orange silken scarf, and a dagger.
I'll do the scarf.
Yeah.
Okay. The scarf is one that you would maybe... It's a bit of a pull, but you've bumped into some of them before. You probably say it's from some of the people in the sort of southwestern region, out by Roz. There's a lot of travelers in the desert, a lot of cat folk in the deserts out there. And this sort of like nice silken scarf can be found out there a lot. It's light, it's breezy, that sort of thing. You're not
Is it
entirely
easy?
It is easy and breezy. Yeah. I won't say you'd be able to place it much more than that, like regionally where it comes from, not who it belongs to or anything of the sort. But that kind of points you in a direction of maybe something about the owner. So,
Thank you.
I was gonna go with the blood-stained handkerchief. My thought is that I could detect something about who this might be from the blood.
An interesting take. Are you trying to do that in particular?
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Into the blood.
So
A HIPAA violation.
so do you touch it then?
Yeah.
Okay. You reach out to touch it, and it is an odd sensation because you sort of find yourself almost feeling a little silly. As you recognize that the feeling and the sensation is different because this is not real blood. This is metaphysical blood. This object that is in here didn't come in here with you physically. It represents something. But what that means is you actually get a bit of a feeling of the owner and the blood itself. And what you sense is that whoever owns it, and even sort of looking at the handkerchief closer, it has a small sort of embroidered emblem on it of like a kind of a little rabbit face. You can see the 2 ears on it. And you get the feeling, you didn't roll a crit here, but you get the feeling that it belongs to somebody in conflict. Whatever the blood on this is, it was a desperate struggle. The blood that is on it is not their own. It was the enemies that they were facing against. But they were desperately trying to effectively hold them off. But it is seeped with fear as well, as is this whole place. But you detect in many ways not so much the actual blood or even the owner, but the situation that this handkerchief now embodies, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, once I pick that up, I might just like relay that information because that seems maybe a bit more pressing. This person might actively be in danger. So after getting that sensation, I say, this one feels like they're in a struggle, like they're in danger. Do any of you get any odd feelings from yours?
Nothing that urgent.
No.
Maybe we should start here.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me. I'm not getting anything from any of these, so I'll follow your lead.
Man, okay. I don't get any of this. Whatever, man.
You're saying the clones are speaking to
Whatever you kids are doing these days.
I will, man, Albus, it's a shame that you rolled so poorly. I will say, Albus, you can at the very least recognize, because I think this should be maybe a given, so I'll just give you this.
Okay.
The brass key, and this is not a guarantee, but it does match the kind that would have been smelted in your town, in Casimir itself. So, suffice to say, the key does not look foreign to Casimir, it looks local to Casimir. You would especially know this given that your father often made many of the keys. So,
are these general keys that I would recognize them as, or are they made for a specific purpose?
Gosh. How often did you work with your father to know, like, if he was
frequently?
Okay, so
Frequent.
You would know that given the number of what would you call them, teeth on this key, this was probably one of the ones for, like, this wasn't like a, hey, I'd like to like lock up a cabinet or whatever. This would be for a higher security door, the kind of thing that you might find in one of the, like, at the academy, or maybe like the there are some, like, especially even like at the academy, there's like a dungeon where they might lock away people that are like troublesome or whatever, or say in the, like, the head, like, temple itself, like where they keep goods and stuff like that. This would be like a heavy security door is what this would probably belong to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to relay that information to the group then. I kind of do it in a worried tone, though. I'm kind of still looking around, being kind of taken back by being back home, but I'm kind of generally looking at everybody and going, that's a key my father made. That's got to be one of his. Usually they're used for the temple, though.
You seem at all distressed by this knowledge?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
well, I'm probably just gonna come over and put my hand on you and, like, convey, your father is not here. He's not one of the people afflicted. Dude, it's not going to be him that we find.
I hope you're right. I'm scared to go any further into this town, but we have to help these people.
I say, instinctive terror, very strong, but it's physical. That I know you're scared because of what this place means to you, but let it run through you. Feel it in your body, but don't feel it here. Just let it run through you, and you'll be okay. I promise. We're all here.
Albus kind of closes his eyes and takes a deep breath and just... Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. So we go to this one. I hold up the bloody handkerchief. They seem to need help.
So, yeah, so are you saying that to Folia or to the group?
To everybody. As a question. I know I said it like a statement, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not getting any response, so it's okay. We can go. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'd say let's do it.
Yeah, we all
let's
agree.
go.
How are we
All
right.
deciding where we go?
Well, so as Foley explained, if we focus on these items,
It'll guide
should
us.
draw us to the person in question.
Okay. got
So
it.
I don't know. I get it. I'm
Should we-
holding it, so we should probably hold hands.
All right.
Yay.
Should we take all the objects with us? So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
go.
Oh.
Okay.
I think each of us should hold on to one of our objects.
Mm-hmm. Then yeah, absolutely.
I want to take
I
the
will-
scarf. I
I will
have a good feeling
pocket
of the scarf.
the totem.
The scarf's mine.
Yeah, amazing. Sharp took the
Well,
scarf.
I'll take.
We can wrap it around both of our necks and
Oh
cuddle.
yeah. I'll take whatever's left. Give me the
I'm just
one that
kidding.
resonated the least because I got the least from it.
No one has even asked about the dagger, so you can take the dagger.
Ah, dagger's
the,
mine.
the dagger,
There
the
you
dagger's all you
Which fits you so well.
Yeah,
Yeah, you like blades, right?
yeah, I like stabbing people. It's
It is sort of a short, two-sided blade. If I was describing it out of world, almost sort of like a Roman kind of dagger in a way. And it does have sort of a like some designs on it. Nothing particularly flashy per se, but of them is a small sort of bull head with like horns on it. So
What is this Roman
Cool.
dagger doing in China? Alright,
I want to ask Kestrel, where is the object pointing you? Where does it want to take us?
I'm gonna hold it and I'm gonna say, well, I'm worried if I focus on it, it'll just take me there. So maybe we should, and I hold my hand out, you know, like maybe we should hold hands so we all go together.
Well, Albus will reach out with his paw and he'll grab your
Okay.
arm.
Okay. We're all
And then
holding
reach out
hands,
behind
right?
me to whoever's behind
Holding
me.
hands, yeah.
Yeah,
I will
I'll reach out
grab
behind me
Albus.
to
Grab
somebody
onto-
else who wants to grab
Grab onto
on.
Albus with my dead and withered arm.
okay.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
And I'll grab Gunolf's nice arm.
Okay.
so you're just making like a chain?
Or make it a daisy
We're
chain.
making
Alright,
a circle. We're making a circle. We gotta loop back around. It's a circle.
I was gonna say, are you just gonna put your hands in the
And then
middle?
we're gonna
you know?
travel in a circle.
Yes.
No, we're gonna teleport.
We're gonna teleport. I think we're gonna teleport because we got drawn, we got pulled here.
Oh.
I'm assuming we're all gonna get pulled together, but like I don't want to be the only person getting pulled if I think, where's this gonna take me? And then I'm gone,
Yes.
you know? So
Oh, I thought we were just like gonna meander and hope we like it's
Circle, we're
leading
just
me
gonna
to the
spin.
left.
No.
We're just gonna keep spinning until it takes us somewhere.
You
Yeah.
silly goose.
Okay, we're on the Rosie. Anyway, we're all
But-
linked up. Once we're all linked up, I'm gonna focus on this thing, close my eyes, sort of try to connect to it and see where it's trying to take me.
Okay. As you do that, the sort of sound of like you hear the sort of sound in the distance that seems to draw closer. It's the sound of like a metal blade cutting through flesh, cutting through bone. You hear footsteps, movement, scuffling, the sounds of just combat, of grunts and battle cries and things, and just desperate struggle, breathing, everything. And as that sound kind of fades in, you feel that pull from all of you as you find yourselves sort of whisked from the spot that you're in, and almost sort of like a rising roar of the ocean, all the sounds of battle kind of fade in, and you find yourselves in what looks to be a decently sized training ground. There are in fact, Albus, why don't you describe the training ground in Casimir?
So it's kind of on the southeast part of the town. It's in a square, fairly large. It's got 4 pillars on each corner, and in the middle is kind of just a very dirty and dusty training ground where there's a lot of scars from weapons and bodies and blood and stuff like that. There isn't much to it. Normally people bring things to the training ground. A lot more of the ceremonial combat takes place at the academy. The training ground is for kind of offshoot practices for young tiger folk before they go to the academy to do serious things.
And sure enough, there are a lot of, say, like the kind of wooden things with like the fake arms and stuff coming out of them.
There's a lot of those practice dummies.
Yep, there's a lot of practice dummies of all kinds of variety dotting this place. But noticeably, in addition to the sort of safe training practices, there are a number of bodies strewn about. And it is a similar level of carnage that you guys have come to see in areas infected by the flesh curse. You see tiger folk, or what's left of them, strewn about all over this place. And unlike a typical battlefield, you can see that a number of them have lost limbs or heads or just whole sections of their body, but in so many ways it doesn't look like these wounds were inflicted by a weapon. It almost looks like they've pulled themselves apart or moved in strange ways. Bodies, torsos removed from their legs, but then separate from each other and twisted into, kind of grotesque shapes. But in the middle of this sort of circle of bodies and blood and everything else, you can see a singular, struggling rabbit folk. Short, not particularly tall by any means, rabbit folk sized, but garbed with what you would see as like a typical, like a kind of a leather, cuirass. He's got a lot of kind of nice, what would have been very dainty or very beautiful sort of like clothing. He's got some good frills on them, on his like sleeves and like and his little what do you want to call it, his collar, and he's wielding a sort of double-bladed rapier, and he is just drenched in blood. All his sword just leaks with it. All parts of his like the nice what pristine white are just soaked with crimson. His fur is matted, and he is currently fending off just these white tiger folk that have just been driven to this bloodlust almost, where they are trying to bring him down with their weapons, with protruding bones, with whatever they can. They keep trying to swing at him or swipe at him, and to a clear display of his skill, he is managing to dodge out of the way, to leap over them, to deliver precise strikes or swipes, and to take limbs off and then deliver a blow down to say, like, put a hole through the limb that he just cut off, clearly aware that these things may keep moving afterwards. He is doing his best to desperately fight these things off. As you guys sort of materialize in this field, that sort of starts a bit of this clock here. I will say, with all of you now standing in the middle of this field, one of these white tiger folk that is rushing him in the center doesn't seem to mind taking a swipe at one of you instead. So I need to figure out which one of you swings at it real quick. Okay, that's Kestrel. Beautiful.
Get her.
Well, the one that guided us here.
My bad.
And, my bad.
Wrong room.
Just close the door.
That's just a 10. I assume that's
10 to hit.
10 to
I
hit.
don't actually. Hold on. Let me double check. My shackles make me a little stronger. Unfortunately, I have a defense of 9.
I will jump in.
Okay.
I'm assuming I can, even though. It's
Yeah,
not
are we in combat?
But it's kind of a combat action.
We're going to sort of let this is somewhere in between a combat encounter and sort of an ongoing, what would you call it? Let's put it this way. There are now 6 clocks in existence, and all of these clocks are halfway filled. It should be your goal to clear each of these clocks. So each one has 8 sections, and they are all halfway filled. They are filled with what you can imagine to be the level of terror that these individuals have. You are going to want to succeed at helping alleviate this building terror before it overwhelms these individuals and takes them forever.
Okay.
So, this is sort of the start of this here. There is technically, much like the sort of dreamscape before, there are enemies present in this. I will give you a spoiler now. They have 999 HP. You will not be able to defeat this. You cannot defeat terror.
Yeah.
It is far too broad and unbeatable.
I could if I had gotten Exodia.
slain.
Yeah. I was gonna say Chris could.
That's why I didn't.
But in this, but in this case, I would have just added an extra 9. So I would encourage you not to try to fight your way out of it. That is not the goal, and that is so.
Jason, well then I would like to do, like, I didn't necessarily want to go first in this, but if I'm moving to block Kestrels from getting attacked, I would like to say to the guy, like, hey, buddy, we're here to help. Like, to help him feel like, oh, we're here, we're going to support him. Get a morale boost or whatever.
You are welcome to speak out loud as much as you can. Basically, if you're going to want to do something to the clocks, you have to use the actual objective action, the one that is like designed for, like doing
Adding or removing clock.
Yes,
Yeah.
adding or removing clock. Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, what would I have to?
You kind of describe. Okay, so that's like you describe what you want. Basically, it's like a check. You use that action if you want to make progress towards one of your goals within a conflict. This is roughly a conflict. Although, again, don't try to beat this enemy up. That's not going to work.
Right.
So,
No,
yeah.
but if I'm trying to boost this guy's morale, could that be my check?
Well, if you're going first, you mean?
Well, he's not going first. He's just for flavor because it's not his turn yet.
That is my point.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Whose turn is it? I thought we
right now?
choose
The enemy's
enemy is
going to go
attacking.
first. The enemy's going to go first here. Is what's going to happen here. And it.
Okay, so I guess for flavor, if I block Kestrel, and then I go first, and I talk to the guy to try to make him feel like, hey, look, we're here, we're combat ready, we're protecting each other, we can protect you, is what I'm thinking.
Sure. Let's handle some of this. Does the 10 hit you?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so, but we'll go step by step here. So, you, sorry.
And it looks really cool when I block it. So if this guy sees it, he'll be like, wow, these guys are pretty cool.
Wow.
So the tiger folk that is rushing Kestrel, you can see that they've got a sword on them, but the way that they swing it seems to indicate that their arms, like, you notice it that like their arms are longer than a typical tiger folk. It's almost like the bones and muscles have sort of extended outwards to give them a sort of abnormally large reach. They almost look sort of ape-like in a way as they swing at you, and you easily sort of deflect the blow. But then it's your turn. So you want to try to give a sort of inspiring speech, is what I'm hearing right now.
It's like to boost this morale, but just like reach out and be like, we're here to help, basically. Help them feel bolstered
Okay.
in this fight.
So let's call that a willpower, and I don't know, you're kind of using your martial strength here. Let's make it a might and willpower check.
That's
So you're good.
the willpower is fine. It's more of a partially because this is what keyed off, but like a dex. Like I want to go in with the flourish and the
Okay. So you can do. I'll let you do dex and willpower.
and willpower. Okay. Cool. 9. I would. That must be bad. What? But I
A
can't see
1
what each
and
one
an
was.
8, so you could
1 and an
absolutely roll.
I would
another
love
8.
to re-roll it. So the willpower was the 1.
I think so.
Yeah,
The D8.
One of
So
yeah, the D8.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Fabula point spent, pretty much.
That's a 15.
15.
A 15.
That's much better.
Hold on.
It's- You could add another one to get the ultimate whatever to 16, because
Yeah, how many points do you get for 16 on the clock?
How many? I'm sorry.
How
How many ticks on the clock would you remove for getting 16? Like, what's the next threshold?
So
do some teamwork.
Say,
I could teamwork, is what I'm saying, yes.
So it depends on what the difficulty level is for that with the clocks, right?
Mhm.
Depends on
Uh-huh.
so I guess, are you asking what the difficulty level is?
Sure, what's the difficulty level?
So, unlike other difficulty levels, I'm having you face off with the sort of entity itself. So these are opposed checks every time that you do them.
Oh.
And it is very good at getting into people's heads and making them fear things. I rolled rather well. So 15 was what you needed to beat. You haven't actually beaten it yet. You've tied, which would mean we draw and you need to go again. Now,
Okay.
you can beat it for a section on the clock. That would be all that you get out of it.
Well, I'd love to help Steve out. He jumped in front to help me. I'd love to, be a part of that. Like, yeah, we're here to help,
Yeah.
sort of, like that call to action. I'd like to use the teamwork action. And so how does that work exactly? Because we've never done it before. I automatically succeed, yes, but I still have to roll in order to know.
No.
You don't actually, because you only auto succeed in combat. When you're doing like a check, you still roll. And that's why with the wise counsel with Maisie, she gets to roll insight. When it's non-combat, but then in combat it's the auto succeed.
Which
Yeah, and she would fill in and erase an additional section of the clock. So this would be a really useful place to use it.
Yeah.
Well, the extra clock is just the Wise Council thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're not looking at that though.
We're not looking at that.
No,
Yeah,
we're not.
no. Let's not. So let's not muddy the waters here. So,
Anyway,
yes. So teamwork would be yes. When a character performs a check during the conflict scene, any other character that's able to help them that hasn't already taken their turn, that round may lend the character a hand. It becomes a group check, which then means Steve is the leader in this one. So each helper becomes a supporting character in that check. While the active person is the leader, every support check is automatically successful. Each character who supported it is considered having taken their turn, and that's the +1 to the check. But then you get an additional plus based on your bond, effectively with Kestrel's bond with Steve.
Okay. So that would be an additional 1.
so it's an automatic success, which is 1, and then a bond, which is 1, so 2.
It would be +2.
Okay. That is not enough to get the extra thing on the clock, but
It's enough to get one section on the clock.
it is enough to get one section.
Right.
Is that good? Is that
Nice.
good enough? Can we live with that over there?
I don't know, man. Can we live with that?
I think we can, so normally, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, the way that this works, failing is when we fail, does the clock normally go backwards?
In this case,
fails. In this case, it does, but normally.
So in this case, if you were to fail, the clock would fill, because it's the rising level of fear.
Oh,
Your
right.
success is going to lower the clock. If you had beaten it by 3, it'd be an additional thing that we lower it by. If you'd beaten it by 6, that's another additional 1, and then you can spend your opportunities to do more.
My point is, normally when we do these, if we fail, we just fail to increase it. We don't actually. The clock doesn't go the other direction.
Correct. In this case, a failed check, it goes up.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I guess what I'm saying is we should live with a success rather than going all out for super success, because if we fail ever, there's actually a negative that happens.
We should only push for a super success if it completes a clock.
Yes. Yeah. And keeping in mind that we have many of these clocks today too, though. So one reason is I could spend another Fabula point and it would get us a super success, but then I'm out of Fabula points for the day. It seems like that would be rash for now.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. All that's to say, I personally, I'm good with a success.
No teamwork. It just
No. Yes, teamwork.
yes, teamwork. Okay.
Yes, teamwork.
But yeah, teamwork still is good.
Yeah. Because we wanted to win that. If it was contested, there's still an opportunity for us to fail.
Yes,
we were tied.
really don't want to fail. That's the big.
All right. Well, I'm cool with that.
Nice.
Okay. With all of you guys there, we're going to do a. What do we want to do here?
Really quick, what is Albus? How is he reacting to seeing, pretty realistic, for the most part, tiger folk right in front of him?
I was gonna ask, do I recognize any of the tiger folk?
Do you recognize any of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking around, in this case, the answer is, oh man, would you? So,
it would depend on if the rabbit remembers, right?
Yes, that's actually what it boils down to. So it's a combination between how good the memory of the of the rabbit folk is.
Okay.
I know his name, but what? He's not just some random. Yeah, but he has to remember them vividly enough for them to appear in that way, faces being what they are in a dream. You know what I'm saying? And then you would then have to remember them based off of that. I'm gonna say no. There are probably some vaguely familiar looking like tiger folk here, but between like the way their bodies are twisted and everything else like that,
Okay.
like you're looking at them, you're not getting any like, oh my gosh, that's so and so. They all just look sort of vaguely like maybe I know them, but that's about it. Like,
Is
you're not
the
getting-
armor that they're wearing of Casimir?
Oh yes, yes it is. It's got
Okay.
the what was it? It's
But I imagine like
maroon-
their faces, like whenever you see like dream sequences where their faces are just completely blank,
yes,
like no eyes,
yeah.
no mouth kind of thing.
Well, so there are, but a lot of times, and you notice this, there's sort of a dream logic to it. Where there are eyes and mouths and noses, when you see faces, it is often because they are disfigured in horrifying ways. Those are what stuck in his memory, not
Okay.
the normal, regular faces.
All right.
And so, Jason, I'm imagining a little bit of Inception rules of like the brain is filling in some of the blanks. That's why you're not getting like blank faces, but you're not necessarily getting like, oh, that was Jim.
Yes, you are getting generic tiger folk guy that looks maybe kind of familiar. Correct.
Like shitty AI faces.
Or like when a Ditto copies a Pokemon and it still has a fucking Ditto face.
Just a dot.
Yeah, they've all got the little eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got the maroon, gold, and sort of black colorings of Casimir with their armor and the trimmings and what sashes they have and all of that. Yeah.
I guess Albus is confused. He's not so much scared, just confused at the why the battle is taking place and who the rabbit person is and why they would be fighting against the tiger people. So more perplexed, I guess, than anything right now.
At this point, we switch to essentially the enemy's turn here. There is let's call it a sort of a chill that runs up like your spine, Rosalind. I randomly determined it was you. And this is effectively a 18 versus your magic defense.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I rolled a 10.
Did that hit?
Yeah, I know. So that is a 20. Well, I guess you'd call it light. I'm going to call it sort of spirit damage, but light damage. And you, the target, cannot perform the objective action on your next turn. Which
That's
is the one that
fine.
needed
I'm a
to
good person to get hit by that
transform.
because I'm going to be the worst at the objective action. So take one.
Right.
for the
Oh,
You're
team.
going to be doing a lot of teamwork, I imagine.
Nah,
That's-
I was gonna say now, Chris. Now, Jason, so we don't script the
Go.
rule. Are you thinking that also means he can't do teamwork, or is teamwork
Nope.
okay?
Teamwork is okay.
Great.
Objective
All right,
and
Chris,
teamwork are
you're
two
supported.
separate. Yeah, objective and teamwork are two separate actions, so you
Okay.
should be able to do them no problem. Mhm.
Nice.
So it's our
Were you-
turn. Who should?
Were you saying anything, Chris?
Nope.
Or- Oh, okay.
Nope.
We kind of cut you off there.
Mine technically went as part of teamwork.
Yes, I did.
Aldous could go, but he's dealing with some stuff. What do you
Still
think,
processing.
Aldous?
Yeah.
Still processing. So, like, Maisie or Doug?
I could absolutely do the objective action, but I'm also worried that we're going to be, with how focused we are on one, that we're going to be sacrificing another. But the game plan was to tackle one and then possibly split off from there. So.
Well, hold on. I got a question then. Do we know that there are clocks being filled currently? Like, because we, the players, know, but do we, the characters, do we have any concept that that's happening, that the other people are going to get fucked up if we stay here and just focus on this guy?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Is
Right,
that the
Jason, do
general
we-
sense that we get?
I
We
will
as
tell.
characters get the impression.
Folia told you that, like, obviously you would be on the clock, so to speak, sort of what she was saying. I will tell you when the other clocks all go up. It has not yet happened. It will happen, I will say.
So
Okay.
we'll be able to feel it in the air, right?
yes. The The overwhelming, the palpable aura of fear, dread, and terror will grow to such a degree that it is simply incapable of you guys being here anymore. So, yeah.
So
Okay. Well, to avoid metagaming, like, do we just wait for that to happen?
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't have a sense
Or
of how
I guess-
urgent it is yet.
No.
Yeah.
This is true.
Alternatively, if we resolve this guy, like whatever comes first, we resolve the first guy, or we feel this increase in dread, and we realize like, we need to split this up.
And we the
I think we're going to
players,
split up after this guy.
don't even necessarily know how drastically we need to split up after we hopefully succeed at this one. Is this a 5-way split? Or is it a
Right.
couple of teams or 3 teams can go out? Like, we don't know yet. So we might as well just hang out here for now and then go from there.
Okay. Then objective action. I don't know how to flavor it other than going to the aid of this person. He's been battling it out for quite some time. He's going to need something to boost his energy levels and get him back into fighting shape.
I like it.
What am I rolling for this objective action?
Okay, say it to me again. I was reading up on the rules to make sure I wasn't doing it wrong, and I think I've decided I don't care.
So you are
basically-
doing it wrong. Just kidding.
It's one of those things where I suppose there's an argument that the objective action, if you're trying to use teamwork is like secondary to doing the objective action. It's not a separate action, but it's a support check to somebody else doing an objective action. So I'm deciding they're different enough because that's just what I'm deciding. Teamwork is not an action. It is a thing that you can do. It's not under the action category per se. I've decided I don't care. I'm going to let you guys teamwork even though you're not allowed to do objective.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Wait, why? You think that's...
No. I totally love it. Thanks.
I can
Here's
be
the
locked
thing.
out for a turn.
Teamwork-
It's fine.
No. Teamwork doesn't say what... Teamwork isn't an action. It's just when someone performs a check during a scene, you can do teamwork. Well, it doesn't... Technically, the objective action requires you to do a check, but technically what action is happening for teamwork to happen is never specified. It doesn't even need to happen in combat. Well, I guess it does, but I don't know. I don't understand. Look, I have some issues with this game. I'm going to let it slide. I'm going to just say it's okay. And if you don't like me, sue me. You can't.
Because I think it is somewhat debilitating to have Chris not be able to do the main action, but this way he can at least still take part in the turn.
Right. I've decided I'm going to let it slide.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
Teamwork just says a check, and so we're doing attribute or opposed
Correct.
checks.
And it says
So-
that you make then a check that's the same as the role that the other person is. Basically, at no point is teamwork ever listed as a separate action, but it's never listed as the action that is happening to begin with. So, I'm just going to say it's whatever. So I'm sorry, Donolf, what were you trying to do on your turn?
Basically, this person has been fighting for quite some time, and they're probably wearing thin. Basically, I was going to rush to them and give them aid in getting their energy levels back up, getting them back to fighting fit.
He's going to feed this guy a Red
as
Bull.
a part of the objective action, because this person is, they're fighting things off, and they need to know that there's nothing to fear.
I want you to do a willpower and I'm tempted to say insight, or what's your let's put it this way. I understand what you're attempting to do. What is actually happening here is that Steve has arrived and said, "Don't worry, we've got your back." He doesn't know you. He's not really sure what's happening, and now you're rushing at him trying to give him something. He isn't even sure if he should let you get close.
I mean, I'm an apothecary. I got certain garb that says I'm a healer. So
You wearing a sign?
He's wearing a sign.
I'm not in armor. Is what I'm trying to say.
He is gosh. I understand what you're going for. He still has to overcome this particular fear here. I'm going to say do a double.
Yeah. I was going to say, for what it's worth, we succeeded on the previous check, so hopefully that like helps a little bit of like putting this guy at ease. Whereas if we had failed, I think he would be very on guard.
What do you think best embodies your apothecariness? Which attribute, Gunolf? Would it be like your dex or your insight?
I mean, I'm a dexterous individual, so it's like I would say like potion making and something of that sort to quickly make a potion.
So dex and willpower.
Okay. There is no dex willpower Oh, there is. Captivate. Ooh. I'm a captivating individual.
Hey. I can fall in love with you.
Bunny man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a 10 on the D10 and a 3 on the D8. I could absolutely roll more with another Fabula point. So the 13, I don't know if that beats the entity. But,
Well, how many fabulations do you have?
A million,
6.
right? Yeah.
I have 6.
Okay.
I mean, I say do it, and if Rosalind can help, I mean, she's only going to have one more opportunity after
we'll
this
see how
turn,
this one.
so.
We'll see how this Fabula goes, and this is another experience point for us, by the way. So if we, at the end of this whole thing, spend 6 more Fabula points, then we will go up another level.
Oh, beautiful! That's music to my ears, Doug.
Out of curiosity,
Oh,
no!
minus
Like,
1 XP.
Why don't we just try to pour as much help into this check as possible? Because A, Rosalind can't do anything, and the more we succeed by, the more the clock will get like erased.
The counter argument is if we are going to have to fan out individually, people are not going to have any backup then, and they're going to need Fabula points to salvage any bad rolls they might have.
Right.
Make a case for both. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's something to keep in mind. When we fan out, we may not have the ability to assist anymore.
So
Yeah.
I did the Fabula point, and I have a 10 on the D10 and an 8 on the D8.
Yeah, I think we're going to let
That's a
that
total
rock.
of
If we can't beat an 18, I don't know if a +1 is going to make the difference.
And Maya, to address your question, I think at this saving Chris just in case for now Maisie's next check, unless this resolves the clock, which I guess it could. That way we have it when this is certainly a success. Maybe not, but
I have also drawn an opening
Possibility.
hand because this is basically in essence combat.
Yes, that is.
So
yes, you
if
should
need
have,
be,
sorry.
if we're going to keep getting bopped with damage, I may also be able to help with that instead. We can see.
Because
I
of
would've-
the way I flavored it, am I spending any sort of inventory points?
you should personally. Let me like 1, but like you're giving him like a potion or something, right?
Right.
So I guess we see what an 18 does,
So-
and we go from there.
I was going to say, I guess the question is, do I have to tell you before you do your teamwork?
That's up to you.
You know?
Yes, you do.
Thank you,
It's
Maisie.
actually up to me.
I think for teamwork you don't, but I think if you tell Doug it fails, but he, per the rules, he could still spend another point to boost with the bond.
This will pass, and it will clear it because it is a success, and then it was beat it by 6 or by 6. So
Oh, so what?
Oh, wow. So no
what
need to
was
help.
the question?
He's trying to bait us
Because
into using
it
the
was-
teamwork.
it was 12, and you rolled a what is an 18? Yeah.
18.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're just asking for the future.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Well, I needed to know if you guys were going to spend your turns now before I told you what
No,
it
we
was.
were planning on saving Chris for.
Correct. Yeah.
For
So
the
I
next
just needed it. I needed to. Well, okay, it's fine. Anyway, so
Mhm.
Gunolf,
Yes.
You run up to him, and I don't know why I'm erasing this. It's fine, but it's fine. I'm for my own bookkeeping. You run up, and at first he seems a little like he's unsure of what's happening, and you sort of start as you roll pretty well here. Sort of like, what do you tell him when you get to him? He seems to sort of let his guard down as he sees like essentially help has arrived. Everything is here, and you run up to him. What are the first things that you say to him as you approach him?
It's impressive that you've been able to hold them off so long. I can only hope that with what little that I help you, that you will keep up the fight. And I don't know.
And he
You're
sort
a
of
doctor.
he
Go ahead.
he looks at you. He almost, as you get close to him, you can see that he kind of grips the sword kind of tightly, but he looks out at at all the bodies around him, and then looks at you, and there's a sort of frantic fear in his eyes as he does, and he goes, and he just leans in and he goes, no, I fear whatever's hurting them, it's gotten into their minds. Doctor, please, is it in mine as well? Am I like
No.
them? And he looks
No.
around at all of them, and you can see that there's genuine fear that he is slaying them the same way that they are trying to slay him.
You no, you're safe. You stay with me. You're here. I'm a friend. I've seen you. I see how well you're doing. You're gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right.
And he sort of, there's a moment of him sort of steadying himself as he looks past you to the other people around, and he goes, "Are you sure?"
You're gonna be all right. And and we're gonna pull through this together.
And he kind of relaxes the grip on his blade, not enough to drop it, but enough to lower it. And in doing so, you can see a sort of relief even on his own eyes that he's capable of doing that. And he kind of looks up to you, and you can see that there are kind of tears welling in his eyes. And he goes, "Thank goodness. Thank the gods." And with that, there's sort of this breeze that kind of comes over it. And you suddenly find that you're standing in the middle of this place, and there's a silence here now, and he is no longer there. There are still bodies all over the place, but he is no longer there. And there's almost an easing of the tension in this place. You don't quite feel that same unease in your own mind here. So with that, that's one person saved. One of the clocks has been
Yay.
completely diminished. You do not need to worry about it any longer.
Nice.
We saved the rabbit.
Yeah.
Wait,
You saved the bunny girl from the.
It was a dude!
He's a dude.
Yes, you saved her brother.
Oh, okay.
One
She
of
have a
her
Scottish
376 brothers, because we all know how rabbits
What?
be, you know?
That
What-
sounds
what
racist.
Alice?
Oh, I said, did the lady rabbit have a Scottish accent too? I don't remember.
She did not.
Oh,
I'm gonna go up to Gunoff and say, Gunoff, you did it! You saved him!
Yeah, I did it. But there's still more to go. We gotta save them all.
Yeah, we do. And then it seems like maybe they'll all be like that. Maybe it just have to fix whatever the problem is. But you don't need me. So maybe we should try to fix the other ones in different groups. In smaller groups.
Okay. Sounds great. Let's, at the very least, we each still have, like, a trophy that we can concentrate on. now that we have one down, somebody can hopefully bounce between. But
Well, yeah. How do we find each other if
Yeah,
one
that's
of
a
us
good
is
question.
taking the?
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
And also, yeah, how aggressive do we want to be in this split too?
I mean, the good news
I don't
is all of
know.
you share a blood bond with Kestrel except me.
This is true.
There's one person who
so
can be a
maybe we
lighthouse
should
of
go
sorts.
So
together.
it sounds like Rosalind and Kestrel should go together.
That
Yeah.
actually does make a lot
And then
of
we'll
sense.
be able to find you guys.